Good evening and welcome to the Leader's Edge. This is Season 3, Episode 11. We're going to have Swim with the Sharks, the journey of Unilab from good to great. Tonight's guest will take us through a journey of self-development and success, even amidst adversity. A wonderful story for this time of pandemic. With us is Mr. Joel Cacanindin, who has over 20 years of experience in sales and distribution. He started out as a med rep for Unilab and worked his way all the way to key accounts manager. He graduated from Our Lady of Fatima University with a degree of nursing, followed by an MBA degree from the Philippine Christian University. And he's now completing a doctorate degree in development administration from the same college. So in due time, we can call him Dr. Joel, but not that kind of doctor. He's also a motivational speaker, a life coach, and an author. His upcoming book will be released after Holy Week. It's entitled Unleashing the Warrior Within, Winning in the Corporate World. He's also active with Toastmasters, a global organization dedicated to helping people like you and me to become better public speakers and leaders. He has served as area director, club president, club coach, club mentor, as well as competing in humorous and international speech contests. He has earned the highest distinction for Toastmaster, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award for Excellence in Leadership and Speaking. He is also, on the personal side, the salesman dad to his family, being happily married to the wonderful Nora and a devoted father to two wonderful teenagers, Norman and Janet. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the virtual stage Mr. Joel Cacanindin.
Thank you, Nelson, for that very great introduction. Thank you also to Miss Dinah and Dino and the Leaders Edge for inviting me in this very wonderful event. Thank you for this great opportunity to tell you about the story of my company, Unilab. And the title is Swim with the Sharks. Imagine a group of fish that consume the sharks without being eaten alive. Now, what guts do these fish have in order to coexist with the monsters of the sea? And after that, these tiny little creatures became the masters of the sea in both the blue and the red ocean. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what am I talking about? From a small corner drugstore, United Laboratories Incorporated became the #1 pharmaceutical company in our country today, with over 23% market share in a world dominated in the past by top multinational pharmaceuticals like Astra, Pfizer, Zwillig, and many others. Now our competitors are asking, what is the secret of Unilab that enabled this company to journey from good to great? Ladies and gentlemen, the secret or secrets can only be revealed when you are in the zone working with those heroes that made the impossible possible. I was lucky enough to be a part of this company in March of 1999. And because of that, I somewhat unraveled the three secrets. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to know the secrets? Well, I think it's a big yes. Now, here are the three secrets. Number one, the vision of our company, the vision of our owner, Jose Y. Campos. Number two, the culture of Bayanihan. And number three, our greatest asset, our people. Now, allow me to intertwine the three for a better appreciation of these three secrets. Now, based on the conversations with the veterans of this company, I somewhat visualized a young Jose Y. Campos peddling medicines and supplies with his ever faithful bicycle in the streets of Binondo. In him, he had a vision of creating a store that will provide quality, affordable medicines to Filipino people. And so in his mind, he formed a new management philosophy that is truly Filipino in nature, one based on bayanihan or the community of working together. Other Filipino values like pakikisama, utang na loob, hiya, husay, malasakit, at marami pa pong iba enrich this management style he created. Thus, the bayanihan way of life was born. It is the system of working together as one to achieve a common goal, where the president down to the last man standing will never ever stop until the goal is achieved. Now, this is a mural painting in our company, the Bayanihan. We work together to provide you with safe and quality medicines every day. And ladies and gentlemen, this culture, this Bayanihan culture has been transmitted from generation to generation. Now let's proceed to the third aspect, people. People, people, people. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a survey in the US that revealed that 60% of the total workforce are not happy with their jobs anymore. So I can assume that the remaining 40% are either happy, feeling happy, or they're simply numb. Wala na po silang pakiramdam. Hindi nila alam kung masaya o malungkot sila sa kanilang trabaho. And definitely, many people are feeling that sort of emotions or mindset today, especially in this pandemic. Now, there was a speaker who said some people go to work awake while others go to work alive. And ladies and gentlemen, there is a big difference between the two, awake and alive. There was a speaker who said that there are three reasons why employees or people leave the company. Number one is culture fit. He does not fit on the culture of the company. Number two, job fit. His qualifications or competencies is not fitted with his current job. And the last is climate fit. The employee probably lacked that emotional quotient to fit in with the internal culture of his department. Now, there are three classifications of employees in my book. So I classify them into three. Number one is the salaryman, in which he relies with his salary every 15th and 30th. And after that, tapos na. That's all. Next is the competency man. Competency man. So these are the people or employees who build their competencies, achievements, awards in order to get promoted or be pirated by other big companies as well. And the last is the man with a vision. These are the persons or employees who consider their job as a profession and as a vocation to be of service to others. Ladies and gentlemen, the people in Unilab are men and women with a vision, and they consider their jobs both as a profession and a vocation. The success of Unilab is not attributed to the corporate executives or the big bosses that we have, or even those persons who were pirated by our organization. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of Unilab is attributed to those ordinary people with extraordinary amount of determination, willing and capable to achieve that common goal. These are the fish that can swim with the sharks without being eaten alive, and singing our Unilab hymn. Unilab, Unilab, tinig natin nagkakaisa, kalusugay kayamanang tunay, sa buong sambayanan inaalay. Unilab, Unilab, kapit bisig nating ipahayag ang bayanihan ating napatunayan. Siya'y landas tungo sa kaunlaran. Ang bayanihan ating napatunayan. Siya'y landas tungo sa kaunlaran. Feel good. Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks my 22nd year in Unilab. And I can still feel the culture instilled in my mind and in my heart. I am 48 years of age, but my enthusiasm is still as fresh as that of a newly hired individual. These are the people of Unilab. Today marks our 75th year anniversary as a company. Medyo outdated na po yan, 70. Ngayon po, 75 years na po kami. And we are proud that we are going strong in the service of the Filipino people. So 3 years ago, I made a blog entitled The Culture of Unilab That Changed My Leadership. And it was appreciated by a lot of leaders, friends, and students who read this blog. So allow me to share with you some excerpt of this blog. I made Unilab my way of life. I share these values in our Metrolipa Toastmasters Club. This became our mantra that led us to achieve the President's Distinguished Club, the highest award given to a club in a year. And would you believe this was done after 14 years of existence as a Toastmasters Club? Wow. And this is my takeaway. In order for an institution or a company to achieve its goal, there is a need to melt all your positions, status, awards, and achievements so that the real person within us and the real warrior will come into place to achieve that certain goal. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Bayanihan, because I used my leadership as a president at that time in Metrolipa Toastmasters. So in my family, where we face adversities because of my wife's end-stage renal failure, Bayanihan culture is also within us. I cannot handle the situation alone. My wife, my kids, and I work together as a cohesive unit with the guidance of our Almighty God. Ladies and gentlemen, Bayanihan is a leadership principle that can guide us to success. We see ourselves as brothers and sisters with one common goal. We work together because of our passion more than our position. This is a place where dedication, hard work, and integrity exists. Bayanihan will enable your company, your institution, to journey from point A to point B, from good to great, and from success to significance. So before wrapping up my talk, I also would like to share a milestone in my life this year. I made a book connected to our culture, Bayanihan. And this is entitled Unleash the Warrior from Within. Winning in the corporate world, doing the right thing in the wrong world in spite of everything. And allow me to share with you a short background of this book. Life is like a jungle in the corporate world. People may backstab you, grab mentality may discourage you, and the pressure may put you down. The only way to survive here is to unleash that inner warrior within you. This book is not a management or marketing book. This is your guide on how to stay whole once you enter the corporate world and stay full once you exit this challenging territory. The author, yours truly, is started in the wrong positions of life, but managed to rise up, take charge, and move forward. I am a practitioner of life who wants to do the right thing in a wrong world in spite of everything. The wisdom that comes in this book comes from a heart that wants to connect to the hearts of his fellow warriors this message. And this is the message. The only way to survive in the corporate world is to never lose your identity as a person. Keep your values and principles more than your ambition and position. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us are warriors in our way, in our own little way. And the best way to be the real warrior within is to be authentic in everything we do. Through this, we can truly say that we can truly swim with the sharks without being eaten alive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joel. I really enjoyed that talk. And if Jim Collins were to have a sequel about good to great, he should be including Unilab there as well, and even invite to be a co-author. It's that good, very good. I love it.
Wow.
May
Thank you,
okay,
Nelson.
for the benefit of our audience, let's have a unpack whatever he talked about. Let's start with something personal. Joel, what made you study nursing of all things? And in hindsight, it was perfect because now you're in the pharmaceutical field. So why nursing?
Well, that's a very long story, Nelson, because when I was in high school, I was really good in public speaking. I was a central student government president in fourth year, a consistent honors student. All the while, I thought that I will become a lawyer, a public speaker, or an author in the near future. But my parents encouraged me to take up nursing because in those times, nursing is the most profitable course once you graduate from that course. And they're really good salesmen because I was persuaded by them to take up nursing. So first year, second year, it's so easy. But on my third year, somewhat I had somewhat crisis within my mind if I will pursue with that nursing course once again because I'm feeling the warrior within me beginning to unleash that old dream of becoming a public speaker, of using my competencies as in communication skills is starting to crop up. So I talked with my parents, yeah, and I have a confession to make. I made a suicide letter when I was in third year college. And my parents communicated with me and said, do it your way, Joel. We will understand you. But I said, third year na po eh. I really need to finish kasi sayang. So I finished the course. I finished Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And irony of ironies, I topped the board, 19th placer. But I did it my way after graduation. I immediately applied for a sales job.
And then you had the best of both worlds because with your medical
Yes,
training
true.
and then your gift of persuasion, and I presume, let's say, you're able to express ideas, overcome objections, and that, of course, led to your success.
Maybe if you will connect the dots backwards, I think God used that experience for me to use that story to inspire others.
Yes, and God never wastes a pain. I love that. Now, let's
True.
go to your personal journey because I think you don't have your warriors mentality right away when you step on day one of Unilab. So how did that mentality, the warriors thinking, your values, how did that evolve throughout the years?
Okay. Before I entered Unilab, I already profiled this company and I studied its culture. I studied the people, and I said that Unilab will be the perfect company for me. So upon entering Unilab, I had a lot. I had difficulties entering Unilab because it's really difficult entering in large corporations like that. I applied first as a medical representative. I passed the exam. Then I need to pass 3 interviews from different AVPs of different channels. I passed the first and the second, but there was an issue in the third one because the scenario was like this. I was the sixth person to be interviewed. Number 7 and number 8 were already interviewed. So I immediately rushed and so bullish to knock at the door of the AVP. And I said, "Sir, is my name on the list?" Then that AVP got angry with me. And after that, I was the next to be interviewed and said, "Oh, you're 19th placer, huh? In Unilab, we're looking for the first. So we don't need you. Get out of this room." So I was so devastated after that. And good thing that warrior within me came out. I went immediately to the HR and requested for another interview. And good thing after 2 weeks, I was interviewed by another AVP and I passed. And today I'm already 22 years in this company with God's grace. And the warrior mentality. The warrior mentality in Unilab is evident in each and every one of us. In our channel, what we commit, we deliver. And we deliver it in the right way. So we have a lot of experiences to share. We have a lot of talents to give to the company. And as a warrior, we were equipped by our company to be the best that we can be. But you got to be a good warrior both in and out. And you got to awaken the warrior in every adversities that you are having.
Speaking as a warrior, I love that analogy because this is usually thought of as warfare, military terms. I just wonder what would be your biggest or toughest battles during your 22 years? What will be the biggest chance you faced during your stint?
Okay. For the first 15 years in my life, or not in my life, in Unilab, it was so easy because I was consistently hitting my targets. I was consistently receiving incentives, side bets, awards, and promotions. Now came the 16th to 18th year, in which whatever I do in sales, I was not hitting my targets anymore. So I asked myself, what's really happening to me? I received a lot of ridicules at that time. I received a lot of memos because I was not performing well on that 16th to 18th year. And so I said to myself, I really need to awaken that warrior within me because I am still a Unilab warrior. And with God's grace, I started to repackage myself, not only as a salesperson, but also as a total individual. Would you believe I joined Toastmasters International at the age of 42 compared to those who are joining young at around 18 to 25 years old? Because I really needed to repackage myself once again at the age of 40. And indeed, I think the saying that life begins at 40 applies to me because I joined Metro Lipatos Masters Club. I delivered a speech. I became the best speaker that day. I really don't know if it's true or they're just encouraging me to be a part of that club. But after that, in 2015, I joined the area competition in Alabang. international speech competition, and I became the champion of the international speech and Area 79. And the rest was history. And that warrior within me was awakened because I created a new Joel, which is not like only an assassin killing your competitors in the field, but a total package, a salesman dad who aims for continuous improvement, not only within the company, but outside of the company. That's all, Nelson.
And and I think one of the danger of being a warrior is that you become the very enemy you're fighting against. So I just wonder, you said you're being a total person. I just wonder how you can be a warrior with a heart. I wonder the tough as nails versus the puso mamon person. How do you blend the two?
Wow. I think we're pertaining about empathy, putting yourself in others' shoes. But before doing empathy, I think the first thing to do is you need to know who you really are. You need to be authentic, both in and out, in order to show that real person within you. Because if you do not know the person within you, how can you extend your real self to others? So I think that's the best advice that I can give in order to balance the tech points from the touch points, because a balance is needed in order to communicate well both in and out.
I love this discussion because the value is that for personal development and as the show says, leader's edge, this can be also translated to leadership. And just wonder now, how do you motivate your team, being the leader, the warrior leader, to become also authentic, to have the Bayesian spirit? I think some people are naturally selfish, some are naturally unselfish. I wonder how you do it.
My people are all motivated because we are immersed with the culture of Bayanihan.
Mhm.
And once you know the vision of the company, you started to be a part of that company in which you will work hand in hand to achieve a common goal. Number two, you need to walk the talk because as a leader, you must be a model to your members so that the respect will be there, and never ever compete with your men because you are their guide. Because some boss, they tend to compete with their with their subordinates who are who feel that they are a threat. That they are that they are a threat to that position. So never compete with with your subordinates because you work as a team. Winning alone is not winning at all. You must have that culture of bayanihan.
I love that. Now, let's talk about the heat of the battle because well, it's nice to have the authenticity, the burning spirit when things are doing well. But now, if let's say it's pandemic, and I don't know what will be the squeezes or pressures inside Unilab, but I wonder now, how would you, as a leader, lead your troops when there's so much pressure, and therefore the temptation to compromise is strong. I wonder how you deal with that one.
Temptation. Wow. That's a big word, no?
Yeah.
Temptation. For me, real power is shown in your ability to be calm amidst adversity, to be real in a world filled with hypocrisy, and to be humble enough that you need God in creating the best version of yourself. The position that you have today can be gone tomorrow, but the respect you earn from others will last for a lifetime. And with regards to manipulation, allow me to say this thing. Manipulating others to gain personal wins is not success in itself. There will come a time that you will also be manipulated and used for others' wins as well. And as what I've said before, winning alone is not winning at all. And that is connected to our Bayanihan culture.
All right. Let's talk a bit about your book. I love it. I look forward to reading it and making a review. And I wonder what else do you want to impart to the reader as a result of reading that book?
Okay. This book was conceptualized in 2012. This was the darkest year in my life, both corporate and personal. I had problems in financials. I had problems not getting promoted anymore. I had problems not performing well in the company. So I said to myself, I need to recover and bounce back. I need to have that Joel warrior within me. When you say bouncing back, some persons bounce back at the 90-degree angle straight. But at that time, I was only bouncing back at around 95 degrees angle. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's so hard to bounce back when you're in rock bottom, And with God's help and guidance, I started to bounce back bit by bit. And this book is an inspiration for me to awaken that inner warrior within me to bounce back as the real person. And actually, another part of bouncing back is my dream, my long lost dreams of fulfilling myself as a speaker and as a book author. Ladies and gentlemen, it is never too late to follow your dream. Age is just a number. And I do hope that you will be inspired with this book, Unleash the Warrior from Within, Winning the Corporate Life.
As an advance notice, where would people order the book? Will they be in touch with you or the publisher or something?
Yeah. For the meantime, you can contact me on my Facebook page, Joel Cacanindin Salesman Dad. But after Holy Week, my marketing counterpart will do the marketing of the book and I
Okay.
will announce it.
And I think people can get in touch with you through LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
Yes, through LinkedIn.
Yes. Oh, one more thing. I noticed in your LinkedIn profile, you're a Yellow Six Sigma certified. What's up with that one?
Whoa. Yes, I was certified by ASLEX
Mm.
Philippines Academy and Elevate about Six Sigma. This is more on continuous improvement in which you study different systems and processes in order to improve the status of the company, both in and out. It uses some formulas, some mechanics. So I cannot explain it here, but that's just the gist of the Six Sigma. And this was part of my continuous improvement as a professional. And I took that at the age of 44. So you the drive to excel and the drive to improve yourself must never ever stop. You are not old until you stop learning.
Yes, and I love that concept because as a warrior, giving yourself more and more weapons or more tools. So, it's commendable for you because you'll think that, hey, I'm nursing, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a mathematician, and yet we know that success is very data driven and so much number crunch. So kudos to you. And at
Thank you.
40 plus, yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful example that you're never too old. It's not true that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. I'm an old dog too, so I have to learn every day. And so this is the encouragement that for us to be in the leader's edge, to also have from good to great, it's always going to be continuous improvement. Joel, I really enjoyed this conversation. Is there any parting encouragement you can give to
Okay.
our viewers, especially in this age of the perpetual lockdown? Oh, by the way, I hope the vaccine will work eventually. And
Yes.
take it away, Joel. Final words.
So allow me to share with you the 5 things I learned in corporate life. Number one, knowledge learned in college is not enough. So keep on learning. Number two, integrity is better than position. Many people aims to get promoted whatever it takes, but always do the right thing, and that is integrity. Number three, personal branding will will guide you to excellence. Just what I did. I branded myself at the age of 40, and I did my best to show that unique character within me to be an asset to the company. Number four, a balanced life is a healthy life. When you are in sales, it's true, you have a lot of temptations, a lot of gimmicks, and a lot of things to do. But you need to balance life, family life, and your career because family is more important. And lastly, when you are in doubt, the best way is to think this way: God's way is always the right way. I guess that's all, Nelson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're so encouraged by that. And God bless you in your future endeavors. When you get to become black belt, let me know.
Sure.
And then,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of The Leader's Edge. This is season 3, episode 11. That means we have one more episode before we wrap up this season. Tune in next time where we're going to interview Mike Chua with his book, Ready to Serve. If you want to have in your organization the spirit of CSR in this DNA, don't miss this one. Also, check out our episodes in the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to the channel. Click also like and share. And ladies and gentlemen, we have this wonderful conversation with Joel. I'm sure you've learned as much as I did. And remember, learning is a never ending journey with limitless vistas. See you around. Good night.